The Marine had no reason to stop that day. The snowstorm was getting worse. The wind howled across the empty highway, and the road ahead stretched on for miles without another car in sight. The retired Marine just wanted to get home before the snow buried the road completely. Then, out of nowhere, a lone German shepherd stepped into the center of the highway. She rose onto her hind legs, as if begging him to stop. Her fur was soaked, her breath sharp and ragged. Her eyes filled with a desperation that made Cole's heart stop. She wasn't barking. She wasn't growling. She wasn't running. She was begging, staring at him with wild, frantic eyes. When Cole rolled down his window, she didn't move. Instead, she placed one paw against his door and looked at him with an expression he hadn't seen since the battlefield: fear, desperation, and recognition. She scratched desperately at the metal, as if begging him to follow her. Because he did know her, he had saved this dog once before, but this time, she had come to save someone else. When Cole stepped out of the truck, she didn't wait. She bolted into the storm, barking, crying, looking back again and again, demanding that he keep up. Every instinct in Cole's body screamed that something was terribly wrong. Minutes later, she led him to a sight so shocking that Cole stumbled backward, and what she led him to shocked the entire town. A German shepherd found the U.S. Marine who saved her and asked for help. What shocked everyone? The storm had rolled in faster than anyone predicted. Thick curtains of snow swept across the empty mountain highway, erasing the world into a blur of white. Sergeant Cole Hayes tightened his grip on the steering wheel, reminding himself he only needed to get home. Just a few more miles of silence. After retiring from the Marines, quiet had become his new mission. But fate rarely respected quiet. As Cole rounded a bend, something dark stepped into the center of the road. He hit the brakes hard, tires skidding on the ice, heart pounding. When the truck finally stopped, he stared in disbelief. A German shepherd stood there, alone, trembling, coated in snow. But unlike any normal stray, she slowly rose up on her hind legs, almost as if she were begging. Her eyes locked onto Cole's with an intensity he hadn't felt since the battlefield. He felt something stir in his chest. Recognition. No. Impossible. He opened the door cautiously. The shepherd didn't flee. Instead, she stepped forward and rested one frozen paw against the metal, staring at him with desperate familiarity. Then Cole saw it. The faint scar along her left shoulder, the same one he had treated years ago overseas. His breath caught. It was her. And if she was here, something was terribly wrong. Cole knelt in the snow, heart hammering as the German shepherd pressed against him, shivering not from the cold, but from fear. He gently placed a hand on her neck, feeling the rapid pulse beneath her fur. "Easy, girl, easy," he whispered, though his own voice trembled. She backed up suddenly, then barked once, sharp, urgent, before spinning and sprinting a few steps down the road. She stopped, turned, and looked back at him. It wasn't random. It wasn't panic. It was a signal. The same signal she used in combat when she detected danger long before the humans ever could. Cole's chest tightened. Something bad wasn't coming. Something bad had already happened. He followed her as she broke into a run, paws kicking up snow, her silhouette a streak of determination against the storm. Cole's boots crunched behind her, breath fogging in the freezing air. The shepherd kept looking back, ensuring he was still with her, pushing him to move faster. After nearly half a mile, she veered off the road and darted into the tree line. Cole hesitated only a second before forcing himself through the thick branches. The forest was eerily silent, until he heard it. A muffled groan, a human voice. Cole pushed forward and froze. Half buried beneath a collapsed log, bleeding, barely conscious, was a man wearing military fatigues. A man Cole thought was dead. Cole dropped to his knees beside the fallen Marine, snow clinging to his uniform as panic and disbelief twisted inside him. The man's face was pale, lips cracked, eyes fluttering halfway open. Cole brushed snow off his chest and froze when he recognized the name patch. Thorne. Sergeant Michael Thorne, his former squad mate. A man Cole had mourned years ago after their convoy was ambushed overseas. No, this can't be real," Cole whispered, voice cracking. Thorne's breathing hitched, his fingers twitching weakly as the German shepherd nudged his cheek with a soft whine. She circled him protectively, her body trembling with the urgency Cole couldn't ignore. How long has he been out here? Cole muttered, scanning the area. The tracks, the broken branches. This wasn't an accident. Someone had dragged Thorn into the woods and left him for dead. Cole's instincts roared back to life. He tore off his jacket and wrapped it around Thorn's torso, pressing a hand to the gash near his ribs. Stay with me, Mike. Don't you dare check out on me. The shepherd barked sharply and trotted a few feet away, sniffing the ground before returning, whining anxiously. She wasn't just emotional. She was tracking something. Someone. Cole swallowed hard, adrenaline burning through his veins. This wasn't just a rescue. This was a warning. Whatever happened to Thorn wasn't over. The German shepherd suddenly stiffened, ears snapping forward as she turned toward the treeling. A low, guttural growl vibrated in her chest. One Cole had only heard from military dogs when danger was close. "Easy, what is it, girl?" he whispered, but she began backing up, gaze locked on something deep within the forest. Cole carefully lowered Thorn against a tree, checking his pulse. Still weak, but steady enough to buy a few minutes. Snowflakes drifted silently, yet the air felt thick, heavy with a presence that didn't belong. Then Cole noticed it, the footprints. Not animal, not Thorn's. Large, erratic boot prints, circling the clearing before disappearing into thicker brush. Whoever left Thorn here had stayed to watch, and they might still be near. Cole grabbed a fallen branch from the snow, sharpening the end with his knife as instinct took over. "If someone's out there, show yourself." He barked into the trees. No answer, only the unsettling echo of his own voice bouncing between the pines. The shepherd trotted forward a few paces, then looked back at Cole, whining urgently, almost pleading. She wanted him to follow, needed him to. Cole glanced at Thorn, then at the dark path ahead. Every nerve screamed that this was a trap, but the dog's trembling urgency told him something else. Someone else was out there who needed help. And time was running out. Cole followed the German shepherd through the tightening maze of trees, the snow crunching under his boots as the wind carved sharp whispers between the branches. The dog kept glancing back, making sure he was behind her, then rushed forward again with renewed urgency. After several minutes, she stopped at a small ravine. Cole peered over the edge, and his stomach dropped. Below, half buried under broken branches, lay another figure. Smaller, younger, a teenage boy. His face was pale, skin dusted with frost, lips trembling as he fought to stay conscious. Cole slid down the ravine, landing beside him. "Hey, hang in there," he said, brushing snow off the boy's cheeks. A faint groan escaped the teen's lips. The shepherd pressed her nose to his chest, whimpering softly. Cole checked his pulse, weak but present. Then he saw it, a trail of blood leading from the ravine back up the slope. Thorn hadn't been the only target. Someone had chased this boy, forced him off the path, and left him hidden, hoping the storm would finish the job. Cole's jaw clenched. "Who did this?" he muttered, though the wind swallowed his voice. The shepherd stepped beside him, nudging his arm as if urging him to move. Cole looked at the boy, then at the blizzard closing in. He had 2 lives depending on him now, and he would not lose either. Not today. Carrying the boy in his arms and guiding Thorn with his free hand, Cole fought his way back through the storm, the shepherd leading every step with unwavering determination. Snow whipped against his face, his muscles burned, but he pushed forward, refusing to slow. When the lights of the ranger station finally broke through the white haze, Cole nearly collapsed from relief. Rangers sprinted outside, shouting orders. Paramedics rushed to take the boy and Thorn, packing them in heated blankets, attaching oxygen masks, working with frantic precision. The German shepherd sat beside Cole, chest heaving, eyes locked on the rescuers as if making sure they treated the lives she had fought to save. Hours later, after the chaos settled, the ranger captain approached Cole inside the warm cabin. "Both of them will make it," he said, voice thick with awe. "If you hadn't followed that dog." He trailed off, shaking his head. Cole glanced down at the shepherd resting her head on his boot. She looked up at him, not just grateful, but certain that she had chosen the right man. The captain smiled. "You know, she refused to leave the station until we brought you in. She was waiting." Cole knelt, running a hand along her fur. For the first time in years, warmth, not from the fire, but from purpose, filled his chest. "She found me once," he murmured. "And today, she saved all of us."